After 2 years of marriage, and I will say I am pretty satisfied of my marriage. My husband is a very understandable guy. He's very genuine, and of course, we had fights, have ups and downs. We have find the common ground to solve our problem. And today I want to really talk about there are sometimes I found out my behaviors in the marriage is look a lot similar to my mom's, and how I deal with it and how I grow from it. So I found out my mom that she needs to always approve her self worth. I found out that my mom needs always prove her self-worth. For example, homemaking. She needs to make home like very nice and neat and organized. I know like most of the Asian parents is very strict about this one. And secondly, that her cooking is so good. Like even my husband, he's a very picky eater, like he really loves my mom's food. Like three, that she stylizing herself very nicely, and such a woman she can do amazing job too, earns a lot of money. And everything she does, and I think honestly, or comparing to my dad does like very less and minimal, but my dad is a very wise man. He is not competing with my mom, but somehow my mom always have to, through this all these small points, she, after maybe like time to time, she's always wanna brag about herself, how good she's good at homemaking, how good she's, how great socialize, to have social connections with other people, how great that she can earn a lot of money and bring back home. um I mean, when I was young and I don't really know much about this, I just know that my mom is always angry. Sorry, that's another story. But uh when I grew up a little bit, like I'm kind of getting tired of she saying how good she is. Because in my opinion, if this is your home, you want to do things to make your home look good, look nice and clean, then you do it. You don't have to mm, brag about what you did. But when I enter in my marriage, I did the same thing. And every day, not all the time, I'm trying to cook dinner for me and my husband. And always when dinner time, if he didn't say anything, the dish is good or something, I would, kind of hint, give him some hint to say my dish is really good. So first a couple of times, I think, I just, kind of, it's like a, fun to want my husband to say something nice about my cooking. But time to time, I feel why I'm always asking about, how do you feel about my performance? And that time, actually, for me, cooking is a way of performing that I am a good wife. Even though my husband really don't care that much how great is the dish, he cares about, am I tired? Am I just too burnt out to cook dish? But I don't. I feel that time my mom's soul was on me. I have to prove that, okay, I'm good at work and come home and good at homemaking. So what? The consumption is, or the consumption could be, you married a great wife. And every day I have to approve that according to, my uh, I can cook good food. I can make my home nice and clean. And one day, I start to ask, I start to get angry of that my husband don't, don't wipe the uh, table, don't wipe the uh, living room's table because he just had some, instant noodle and there's some oil, some spices on it. I just really don't like it. And I didn't really yell. I said, can you just come and clean your mess? Now he becomes so angry. He said, you just become like your mom. If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't want to do it, just leave it. I actually I didn't really get mad because what he said was some point. I think he has a point because we have been living for that time like 1 year and a half. I know he's not someone just to get emotional so fast and easily. So I did really think about it. But the day after that, two of us sit down and we reconcile. And I asked, why do you say such things? Of course, he said. I said, your attitude was so not good. I don't like that. He did apologize for his attitude of saying it. I know girls really care about the guy's attitude, not actually what he said, but how he says it. So I found out, mm, I said, because what I do is just want to make our home nicer. What's wrong with that? But I think I really lose the heart of willing to do something, the heart of willing to do it, rather than I must do it to show you a good home. We must kind of be like a military uh, discipline to keep our home nice. So my home would not be a home that people feel comfortable, but there are such a lot of rules. So if I were him, I feel I may not be happy living here. But those sentences, my dad, maybe in his whole life, could never ask my mom. And my mom just does this, cleaning, organizing. I think my dad is useless. Oh, so after that day's long conversation, I mean, me and my husband both cried. I said, because I tried, but I really couldn't get rid of everything my mom has passed down to me. Don't get me wrong, like she does pass down to me some good things, but this part, you know, like make me so dreadful and tired. And once I think about that, we are not human doing, but human being. But just so this idea just mm, couldn't really speak in my mom's mind, I think. So after that, nice and long conversation, and I know that my worth is not depends on how much or how great I did, but just on who I am. Like, like tonight, I don't have to uh, make my home so clean. I don't have to take the trash out, but my husband still loves me for sure. And I still cherish myself. And I don't need to prove to anyone that I am a good wife. Because if I am a good person myself, that it does require some skills, but not to be a wife, not to be a good wife, but it's while you are living in your marriage, you go as you learn. So that stone has, set, and my heart, I feel that part has been opened, and I just really hope um, whenever I have these challenges, and I could stop and think about how my mind was being trained without really speaking to me, only by observe how my mom does things, and I automatically got that idea. And some ideas are totally toxic and wrong. And this is my life, and this is my marriage between me and my husband. And we could work things out mm, by God's grace. Okay, thank you so much for listening, and I will continue to share how I got healed little by little in my marriage. And have a great time. Bye bye.